Wait. I know you have come with fights. What do you mean that sugar does not cause diabetes? Do you know how many times you've been hearing this since you were born? Yes, you've been hearing it. Stop eating sugar. It will give you diabetes. But you need to know that just because you hear something so many times does not automatically make it true. And Emeka Nkechi, I'm looking at you. You have heard it so many times that you not think it's true. But here is where you come to find the truth about your health. And if you're ready, just click subscribe somewhere. There's a subscribe button somewhere. Click it so that you can be seeing more of these videos and be interested about your health. Now, the whole truth and nothing but the truth is sugar alone by itself cannot cause diabetes. And I need you to take a minute to digest it as you are going to digest this video because it's important. Now, the idea that if you eat something sweet, automatically it gives you diabetes is simply a misunderstanding of how disease actually works. That's why we think that if something is bitter, it's going to cancel the sweet things that it took in our body. But first of all, let's break down diabetes. There are two major types of diabetes. Number one is type 1 diabetes, which is what? An autoimmune disease. Autoimmune simply means, let me not use the word simply. Autoimmune basically means when your body is fighting against itself. And you also need to understand that there is a major organ in your body that is responsible for producing insulin. It's called the pancreas, right? Now, the pancreas is somewhere here. It's just very, very small. Its job is every time you eat food and your sugar spikes in your blood, the pancreas will release small insulin so that it can bring down the sugar in your body back. But if your body now says, I don't like the cells that are producing insulin in this pancreas, and then it starts to attack it, it's called what? Type 1 diabetes. Now, some people are born with it. Sometimes it can even start from when you are small. Some people just are autoimmune diseases. It can even happen to children. This has nothing to do with how much sugar the person is taking. Number 2 is what you now know as type 2 diabetes. This one is not as easy as it sounds, right? It just means that a couple of factors have come together. Your genetics, your weight, how active you are, how sedentary you are, the kind of food you are eating, and all these things now come together in your diet and now affect how your body deals with sugar. Because every time you eat food, your sugar will rise in your blood sugar will rise. Now, insulin comes in and then reduces that blood sugar, right? As you can see it here. So every time insulin enters the blood, your blood sugar is going to reduce because it's forcing that sugar into the cells. It's forcing it. It's saying, enter the cells. The cells is where you are needed. If these cells, after a while, they say, we don't want to respond to insulin anymore. Your body is releasing insulin, but your cells are not responding to that insulin. That's type 2 diabetes. These are the two major types of diabetes. But you see, sugar alone is not the direct cause of this particular condition. So Nkechi is now wondering, what exactly started this sugar myth? Because we've been blaming sugar for diabetes for a very long time. It's linked to blood sugar. Blood sugar is the main thing. Let us explain again. You need to understand that the major fuel that your body uses is glucose. And glucose is a form of sugar. And every food you eat, before your body uses it, it will first convert it to glucose. And then your body will now use it, including fats, including protein. Your body will find a way to convert it to glucose before you can use it for energy. Should get here. So it's not that sugar is the problem, but we are going somewhere. Now, eating sugar directly does not cause diabetes. What causes diabetes is, like I said, a mixture of all the complex factors that have ever happened. Let me explain what risk factor is like. Now, just imagine that in your family, you people have family history of diabetes. That's one bullet inside the gun. Bing. Let's also imagine that you are overweight. That's another bullet inside the gun. Bing. Hope you know that this gun probably has like 8 bullets inside. It's a revolving gun. Yes, that's the type they used to use it. That's like. Let's now imagine that you now eat excess calories. That's another bullet inside the gun. Bing. We now also imagine that you do it to exercise. That's another bullet inside the gun. Bing. Have any bullets come out of this gun? No. If somebody now do mistake, one child, bomb boy or junior mechanic run around with the gun, daddy, press the gun, pew, and you already have 4 bullets out of 8. The chances that 1 bullet is going to come out is going to affect you. So when we say that you have a risk factor for something, it does not mean that you automatically have it. It just means that the chances that you're going to have it is higher than somebody who does not have that chance that they are going to have it. So what actually leads to diabetes is the interplay of all these factors. And there are some risk factors that I will share to you right now, that once you start to see those things, you have to pay attention to your food. People who drink a lot of sugary beverages and eat a lot of processed food will tend to gain weight. And being overweight increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. But guess what? Whether it's any food source you're eating, whether it's fat or it's carb or it's protein, so long as you are overweight, you are at risk of type 2 diabetes. So one of the major issues is actually the quality of your diet. Because if Emeka is eating a balanced diet, Emeka exercises regularly, Emeka maintains a healthy weight, the chances of Emeka developing diabetes is very slim, even if he takes chocolate or sweets once in a while. So it's not as if chocolate and sweet is the bad this thing. It's just that Emeka has balanced all these things. If Emeka also does not have a family history of it, he's also in line. So let's put it this way. I'll bring 2 Emekas in front of you, or 2 Nkechis in front of you. You can choose whichever one you are. Emeka number 1 or Nkechi number 1 has a healthy diet. They exercise every day. They take walks. Even if they have a family history of diabetes, but they are always in check with these things. They watch the kind of food they eat. Even if they take ice cream from time to time, their chances of developing diabetes is actually very slim. But let's now go to this other Emeka that is by this side. Has a family history. In other words, there's a gene for diabetes somewhere. Does not exercise. Anything that passes, he has put inside his mouth. Egbegiri, ewedu, he does not even count the amount of calories he eats. Anything he shall must eat, because they've told him that food is life. So he eats everything that passes. And Emeka is now very overweight, as you can see. The chances of Emeka even getting diabetes is higher than this person, even if this Emeka eats ice cream. So you can see 2 people are taking ice cream. But if this Emeka now likes ice cream on top, there's a problem. And then he takes processed food on top, there's a problem. So let us understand that it's not sugar that is the problem, it's excess calories that is the problem. But one of the easiest ways to get excess calories is from processed food. But now, let's not discuss sugar and processed foods. So let's compare these 2 things. On this side, we have apple. On this other side, we have soda. Both of them have sugar inside. So don't say one does have sugar, one does not have. However, on this side, you have natural fiber, you have vitamins inside, micronutrients, and other ones. And it does not spike your blood sugar. Because as you are chewing it, you are chewing the fiber inside. As you are chewing the fiber inside, it's going into your digestive system. Director can show you where it's going through the digestive system. But it's going slowly. And by the time your body now has to dig through all the fibers, the amount of sugar that finally enters your bloodstream enters at a slow rate. Not at the one that will just carry your blood sugar and go, bam. It raises it slowly. Soda, on the other hand, look at it. It's here. It's here looking at us. High sugar, no fiber, no nutrients. And once you just take it, wow, your body just collects all the sugar inside. And then, and before you know what's happening, insulin is running from your pancreas. Let's not forget the pancreas that we mentioned in the beginning. After a while, the cells in your body can now start looking at the insulin and be saying, is it every time you're disturbing us? Every time. After a while, your body will release insulin, but the cells in your body will say, we don't want again. They revolt against the insulin. And before you know what's happening, type 2 diabetes. So you see that taking whole foods, including fruits that have a lot of fiber, can actually reduce the rate at which your sugar rises, and then reduces the rate at which insulin is released into your blood. So what does that mean? It simply means that when you want to take food, you should focus more on whole foods rather than processed foods, because one increases your risk of diabetes, but one does not. However, there are some things that now directly or indirectly lead to type 2 diabetes. Number 1 is genetics. Yes, if diabetes runs in your family, the risk of you getting diabetes is higher. If you are inactive, you have also a very strong risk of developing diabetes, because when you exercise, your body now has to regulate blood sugar and insulin, and then, manages the way your body handles sugar. Obesity, because carrying excess weight around, especially in the form of fat, can increase your insulin resistance. So insulin is flogging the cells. Sugar enter the cell. The cell is saying, Odeshi, and the other sugar remains inside your bloodstream. That's why they check your blood sugar is high. Now, if your diet is also poor, because if your diet is high in processed food, unhealthy fats, excess calories, it can lead to weight gain and metabolic issues. That's why sometimes it's good for you to have muscles, because muscle is also very high in metabolism, so that you to just quickly break down those things. So, Mechanic, I'm looking at you. The real question now is, should you stop eating sugar? The answer is no. Because when you cut out sugar entirely, your body will still transform the things that you need to sugar for it to use. It's like asking, should we put fuel inside a car that needs fuel? The answer is yes. Your body still needs the fuel, but there are some things that you can do. Choose natural sugars from fruits and whole foods instead of processed sugars. Reduce processed foods and sugary drinks. Stay active, maintain a healthy weight. So next time somebody tells you that sugar causes diabetes, it's simple. Don't argue with them. Just send this video to them and improve the level of the knowledge just as you have improved the level of your knowledge. So the truth is simple. Diabetes is a very complex disease, and sugar alone does not cause diabetes. It's just one small piece of a much bigger puzzle. So please balance your diet, stay active, and stop fearing sugar is not the enemy. The real enemy is misinformation. And by this point, please subscribe, like, comment. When you do these things, other people can find this video and be as educated as you are, so that we can slowly do our part in ensuring that everybody has sense, especially when it comes to health. Because as I'm looking at you, the country that you're watching this video from, especially if it starts from Nigeria, there's no doctor inside. There's no doctor inside. So you watch this video, apply the small things that you can use to actually make your health better, so that at the end of the day, you will not say, had I known. So please, my dear, subscribe, like, comment, so that people can watch this video and get better.